Talking about wrong understanding or
Mm.
wrong view,
Mm-hmm.
one politician,
Mm-hmm.
the one that always regard me as his enemy,
Yes.
recently maybe have some mental illness, I think.
Oh, right. Uh-huh.
Because practicing meditation, if someone do not get the right instruction,
Mm.
and they just try to test or try to do by themselves without
Mm.
the right instruction, they may face a mental problem.
Right. Uh-huh.
Because when they sit and concentrate on something, and then yeah, the mind can experience something that we have never experienced before.
Right. Is that because they're detaching from like conventional realities?
Yeah, because when they experience new
Mm.
things during meditation,
Mm.
they may confuse that it is the Dharma or the real Dharma they are looking for, but
Right.
actually it is not. It is just something that arises through the six doorways,
Mm.
rise and falls away, arise and falls away.
Mm.
It's a bit different from normal experiencing,
Right.
because
Uh-huh.
when their consciousness become more calm,
Mm.
they will experience something very different from outward world around us.
Right.
Yeah.
Like an hallucination.
Yes. And recently, I'm not sure it is kind of mental illness because of wrong view related to the meditation practice, or it is the trick, I don't know. He tell all his supporter from all over the world
Huh?
to come back to Cambodia to his place. He said soon, maybe few more days or next week or something, this world will be destroyed by the big disaster,
So he's
like
like a cult leader.
he said even South Korea, yeah, developed country like America, as maybe or even in Australia. I heard he said like America, no more America will be
Mm.
destroyed by the flood,
Uh-huh.
or no more America in next week or next 2 weeks,
Does it seem like any of his followers will listen and come home?
Yes, still some of his followers are returning to Cambodia now.
Wow. Oh.
They are working in South Korea, but
Mm.
afraid of being destroyed by the disaster, natural
Right.
disaster. That is why Buddha taught us to explore our wisdom, to see
Mm.
all reality as they are, not to believe.
Mm. Yeah.
Because when we believe in anything without consideration,
Mm.
it means we close our eyes, wisdom eyes.
Right. Uh-huh.
Inside wisdom doesn't work at all.
Mm.
I just heard one of my audience from South Korea just ring me and told me that hundreds of workers there are returning to Cambodia because of they scare of natural disaster.
Mm. Just in the chat, I wrote a cult leader. A cult leader.
Cult leader.
Yeah,
What
it
does it mean?
sounds like he's a cult leader. I'll just look up the definition of cult. A system of religious veneration and devotion
Aha.
directed toward a particular figure or object, but normally they're not established religions. They're
Mm-hmm.
something a bit different. And the person who is the leader of the cult wants to
Um,
be powerful.
Normally, he always used the name of the Buddha,
Yeah,
but
right.
actually, he raised up his own idea, but he used the Buddha's
Yes.
name, right?
Uh-huh.
Like he talked about Chana, the supreme
Mm,
supramental consciousness,
mm,
like the very high level of consciousness that
mm,
he can defend. I mean, when the time of natural disaster arise,
mm.
he can protect all his follower at his farm in Siem Reap. You know Siem Reap?
Right. Yes, yeah.
Yeah, he can only protect his follower only at his farm. Even in
Yeah.
Cambodia, there are several provinces will be destroyed by natural disaster, by flood, even not by flood, also by storm or something. Yeah, so he frightened his follower. You know,
Yeah.
some of his follower are crying because they cannot go.
Yeah.
Some of them say, "Oh, I persuade my family, but no one want to go," and then they feel sad being separated from their family or something like that.
To me, it sounds like he's a cult leader. He's just using the name of Buddha, but he wants his own kind of power.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Have you heard of um it's called the Church of Scientology?
No.
So it's quite a big cult.
Uh-huh.
And
Uh-huh.
the leader of that cult used to write science fiction books.
Ah.
Science fiction. And he died some years ago. And his wife or ex-wife said one day, he said, I'm going to make a lot of money. I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to become a cult leader.
Ah.
And so he decided, he created a religion.
Mm-hmm.
And in the Church of Scientology, they believe that we are actually aliens from another planet.
Ah, that man also called himself an alien as well.
Oh, right.
Yes, yes.
Uh-huh.
He claimed himself to be some kind of supreme being, like
Mm,
the supreme god that Khmer called Prum, and come
uh-huh.
to this universe to serve to help people all the whole world, not just Cambodia now.
Mm.
He come here not just for Cambodian, he, but for the whole world.
Definitely sounds like a cult leader.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Uh-huh.
many actors in Hollywood
Mm-hmm.
actually belong to the Church of Scientology,
Oh,
like Tom Cruise.
oh, oh,
Yeah, and there's a documentary. It's on Netflix, and
oh,
it's called uh,
oh.
Coming Clean.
Please give me the title. I will check.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just putting it in the chat.
Uh-huh. Oh,
Called Coming Clean, and it's a documentary all about the Church of
oh, coming
Scientology.
clean mean they come to clean, is it?
I can't remember the reference why it's called Coming Clean, but
Oh, coming
maybe,
clean.
maybe, actually, it might refer to uh, there are all of these levels in the Church of Scientology, and you have to keep paying lots and lots of money to go to the higher levels of consciousness.
Hmm.
And along the way, you have to tell the leaders all of your secrets, every little detail about your life.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I think that's where it might come from. But the cult tries to get in your head and actually scare you. So,
Mm.
if you want to leave Scientology, you can't.
Mhm, mhm.
Something bad will happen to you.
Yes,
It uses a lot of fear.
yes. Now, some of his supporters feel insecure to live away
Mm,
from his place. So they, even they are still working, but they have to go back because they're scared of the death.
yeah, yeah. And then as these cults get more power,
Uh-huh.
sometimes they use a tactic which is very common in cults to turn family members against each other.
Mm,
So, you know, they attract families, and then if one person wants to leave the cult, then the rest of the family says, we won't talk to you anymore. You no longer belong to the
mm,
family. So
mm,
the cult members have to decide between their family or and living outside the cult.
mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, poor things.
Yes. Yeah.
Sometimes he talk again and again these 2 days, He haven't slept for 3 nights already.
Mm.
He just said this morning because he always think of his supporter and he asks again and again, please come
Mm.
or you have no more chance.
Right.
Because soon all social media like Facebook, telephone,
Mm.
or something will not work anymore, and uh, even the plane cannot fly.
Mm. Right. Yeah.
Cannot fly. You cannot come back home anymore
Yeah.
after these 2 days or next weeks.
Yeah.
So, oh no, how it is.
Now, when this time passes and nothing happens, I'm
Mhm.
sure he will create some kind of an excuse
You are right.
and everybody will forgive him.
Yes,
And then it will be next year, the same thing happening again.
that's right. Yes,
Yeah.
because the film it
Mm.
depends on the director.
Yeah.
So maybe when the time come and nothing happen, maybe he use another style. Oh, the world still safe because he saved the world or something like that.
Exactly. Yeah. And there probably will be a disaster somewhere
Uh-huh.
because in the world at any one time there is a disaster happening. And he'll
Yes,
say,
that's right.
this disaster started happening, and then I used my special powers and I stopped it spreading from around the world.
You are completely right. Now they take the evidence from
Mm,
somewhere that having flood or earthquake or
mm,
something to prove that it is real now.
yes, yeah. Mm,
So be careful, Chris.
yes. How many followers do you think he has?
As I heard some people say around 100,000, I think.
Oh, quite a lot then.
Yes.
That's a lot.
He had been a politician more than 10 years or almost
Mm,
20 years. So his supporter not less than 100,000, I think.
mm,
Yes, but it is not enough for him to get the seats in the parliament. Now he doesn't think anymore about politics. He asks all his supporter to think about Dharma or something like
yeah,
that. And he used the name of Buddha, but actually he said his own, but he used the name of Buddha.
yeah. To legitimize
Yes.
his his cult. Yeah. So people who might be a little bit unsure when they hear him using Buddha's name,
Yes,
then they think, oh, maybe he is okay.
that's right. In Cambodia, Cambodian people heard the name of Buddha for a long time.
Mm, hmm.
But it doesn't mean that they had learned the teaching of the Buddha.
Yeah.
They just heard the name of the Buddha. But
Yes.
when the leader that they love and they respect say it is the words of the Buddha, they just believe.
Yeah. Yeah.
But actually, no.
Mm.
Poor
Mm.
thing.
And if they all pay even a few dollars a week to him, then he's a rich guy. You know, if he has 100,000 followers and everybody just pays a few dollars every week,
You are right. All supporters have to pay monthly, at least $10 per month.
to help save the world.